All right, so first week of doing social media went solid as far as all things were considered. I'll start off with YouTube. The YouTube impressions weren't great. I would have hoped they looked a little better than they did, but the main takeaways that I have are that we had 6 views out of 71 impressions, which means the get through rate was only about 5%, which hopefully I can get to be a little bit better in the future. I think one thing that could definitely help is maybe working on the thumbnail. Looking back in hindsight, I could have put a little more effort into that to make the video a little more enticing for people to click on initially. The other big takeaway I have from YouTube is that the retention rate while people were watching the video was basically about half the runtime of the video, which is decent, not too bad, but definitely want to make sure that I can get people watching through all the way to the end. So, got to work on just, I guess, keeping people more entertained. I'll try to figure out ways to do that in the future. As for Twitter, we had a solid number of impressions overall. I just need to definitely get up the engagement because in terms of likes or shares like that, it was almost nothing despite having over 100 people engaging on 2 of the tweets. So using hashtags will definitely get people seeing them and putting them in their feed more, but I also need to just work on making people have something to talk about in response. I think 2 things that can help me do that is just asking more of like a question or a response-based post, or just being more active and talking on other people's content as well. Just kind of bouncing off other people and building off of their audience is a great way to get people paying attention to what I'm doing and have a rising tide lift all boats, so to speak. I think definitely just more posting in general on Twitter would be a ton. I only tweeted 3 times just because not really having a ton of time lately, so I wasn't able to create a bunch of posts, but I think definitely posting more will help a lot as well. As for TikTok, TikTok actually did really well. Part of that is because I think this was probably the best piece of content that I made looking back on it. Not that the YouTube video was bad, but I really liked how the TikTok came together. I felt very satisfied with it. Had 384 views and 15 likes, which is pretty good for a start. Would like the like total be a little more higher, but I think that was solid. I think one good thing I definitely did was I didn't only hashtag just NFL and NFL draft in general, but because I was talking about a player from UNC, I hashtagged UNC football, so that could put that in the audience of not just NFL draft people, but people watching UNC football content as well. Just kind of have a marriage of those audiences, help broaden the appeal of the video. The engagement was definitely still really low on it in terms of people didn't gain any followers or people commenting, so got to figure out ways to incentivize that. I think more posting again will help a lot, but that was a pretty encouraging sight to see. So I think if I was able to take the time to bang out a few TikToks over the course of a week, I think it could really get going in a good way. So again, my main takeaway is just that while there's a lot of different little things that I could work on, I think posting a lot more in general is just going to be a big way to help, because social media, you kind of got to be there all the time. Everything's flying by. Videos don't really have as long of a shelf life as they used to, so cranking out content regularly is a great way to get people involved.